everyone. Tonight I wanted to bring to you my 3 hacks for fusing sheet protectors together to make a 2-page layout. So about a week and a half ago, over in the Love RTS Facebook group, we were talking about binders and what binders we use, and a lot of us are switching over to these 3D ring binders, and someone had mentioned that they like the post-bound binders better because they're 2-page layouts butt up together instead of, being apart. So I had posted that I use this We Are Memory Keepers. It's a 2-page sheet protector that is bound together. So when you're viewing in your 3D ring binder, it holds them together next to each other. So everybody asked where I got them from, and I was like, oh, I got them from Tuesday Morning. But lo and behold, We Are Memory Keepers has discontinued them. So as I was filming to show the sheet protectors within the binders, I had a few ideas that came to me. And we came up with 3 different hacks. So I want to share them with you this evening. So the 3 hacks were fuse tool, sewing the pages, which that came from Nicole 911. She had mentioned that in one of her posts. And then there was a lady from the RTS group that mentioned that she uses Redline Tape, which I thought was a really good idea. So I thought I would try all 3 hacks and then report back and let you know how they worked out. So here is my report. The first thing I did was I said I was going to use inexpensive sheet protectors and then expensive ones. I started with the inexpensive ones, and all 3 ways worked with that. So I didn't even bother going to the We Are Memory Keepers ones, because if it worked with these Hobby Lobby cheapy ones, then I figured it would work with the more expensive We Are Memory Keeper ones. So I got 2 single sheet protectors. Make sure that your top loading is together, because there is a chance that you could accidentally fuse them together because they look the same. And you would have the bottom and the top, and you don't want that. So, okay, so I put them together, and they're pretty slippery. So I went into my office, and I got these little clamps, and I clamped them together. And I did this process for all 3 techniques. I got 2 of the clamps, and I made sure the holes were lined up and the ends were lined up. I did that. So the first technique I did, I sewed, and what I did is this is not a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I did put a 12 by 12 piece of paper in there so I knew that it would fit, and then I sewed down the edges. That was my least favorite hack, which I'll show you, and I'll explain why. Then I did the Redline Tape, which is a 1/4 inch. I think next time, I will try and get maybe a little smaller tape. I think it might work a little better. But this is what I had in my stash. It still worked, but I think I would like to just see it right here on the white part. It overlapped over here a little bit on the clear part, which wasn't a problem. And then the third way, I used my fuse tool. And this is the first time I'm using my fuse tool ever. It's been sitting in my stash. I will use this more often. I like the way that came out with the fuse tool. And it was $9.99. Comes with the ruler, the heating element, a stand. There's a cutting tool. The gold one is the cutting tool, and the one with the wheel is the fuse. It melts the sheet protector. And then this ruler has this slot that goes through it that helps align it, and on the back of it, it has some rubber so it sticks to your sheet protector so it doesn't move around. I did also have this ruler, which wasn't that big. It doesn't have the feet on it, and I ran the fuse tool along the edge. This one was nicer in the package. The only problem was this one was smaller. So let's get to those results and see what we got here. So the first one was sewing, and I am not a sewer, as you can see. Let me take it out and get it up to the camera here. So it's pretty wonky. It's this, I can't put a 12 by 12 sheet of paper in because of this little point that's sticking out. I could probably do 11 and a half. Didn't like how it turned out. It was hard to sew because it was slippery. And then what do you do with these ends? Do you tie them off, and then do you have all these, weird ends hanging out of your binder? So I wasn't a fan of sewing. Maybe somebody that does sew could probably do a better job than I can. I just sew on my papers, so that I'm not a fan of that. I will not try that one again. Did it work? Yes, it did. Here's the end result. So they are together, but see, I don't know if you can see or not, but you can see the stitching, and I didn't like that either. It takes away from it. But it's held together and moves across the binder. Second one was the fuse tool, or I'm sorry, it was not the fuse tool, it was the tape. And this one's good. I did 2 of these with the tape, and they're kind of wonky on the top, and I don't know if it's how I had it lined up, because the tape starts right here and then it ends right about here. And if you don't get it on there straight, then you're going to have this wide opening, and it doesn't lay right to me. Can I live with this? Yeah, oh yeah, this is perfect. It's quick. It was easy. I put the 2 clamps on. I put my red tape on one side, really rubbed it on there. Then I just kind of laid the other, I'm sorry, I take that back. I put the red tape on, then I put my clamps on. And then I just kind of pulled it out. As I was pulling it, I was rubbing to make sure that the tape adhered to both sides. And look how strong this is. I mean, and it didn't take me long to do at all. So quick, easy, looks great, much better than the sewing machine. Redline tape. The third and final is the fuse tool. And I liked how this came out. I think it's even, it just lays just a smidge better than the Redline tape. So what I would do is I would probably line these up in assembly line. It took me 10 minutes to heat up the tool, and then to fuse them together. I probably had because I had the smaller ruler, I ran it through 1, 2, 3 times, the fuse tool through that little line in the ruler. And then I moved it and I did the same thing 3 times. And then you can move on to the next one. I even thought about maybe red tape and the fuse tool together. That might be a good option. The other thing, I put a little extra strength by each hole. I fused onto that white. So I may even fuse, I thought I did, maybe it didn't hold. I think it didn't hold. I may fuse this line going down this way too, just so it's, in the book a little nicer. But yeah, so those are the 3 hacks. I recommend the Redline tape, and I recommend the fuse tool, and I hope you enjoyed the video and that you try it. Let me know if you did try it. Let me know if you like the content, and I'll be bringing a video to you in regards to some scraps and how I'm going to get rid of those scraps using the punch board, the memory keeper's punch board, the tab board, and I think there's a letter board as well that I have. All right, have a good night. We'll talk to you.